Why, hello there, everyone. Welcome to the Tea with Taylor Halloween special. Joining me is the lovely Complete Destruction. Hello. Glad that you made it. Yeah. Yes. Oh my God. You see my lovely setup, all for you to make you feel comfortable.
It's like home. It's just like
like home. Just cobwebs everywhere. Just whatever. No big deal. It's fine. I figured it's getting a little cold, so get a little crazy in here. Let me find you guys on Facebook so I can follow behind in the comments. But today we're gonna have a little spooky fun. We're gonna have a little creepy fun. I made us these little cocktails, so I'm excited for you to try it.
I can't wait.
Are you guys excited? Okay, so I'm doing the Beetlejuice look. I don't know if you guys got that with the stripes and the makeup and all that. We're doing the iconic Carrie. I was wondering. I was like, I wonder how Complete's gonna show up. literally, I've seen so many different things from you. I'm like, I wonder what's gonna happen today. And you got all weekend, so I'm sure you're gonna be pulling the looks all weekend.
It's leading up to this weekend has been stressful.
To say the least, I'm sure.
The very least. I made this dress in 20 minutes last night.
Oh, tell it. Yeah, okay. Happy Halloween, by the way, everyone. Thanks for watching. Kai, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. I haven't found us on Facebook yet because I'm making drinks, but I will, I promise. That's always my thing because I'm like terrible with technology. So I'm always like, all right, let me find it. And then it takes me 13 days. Kai says, I love these looks. Thanks, Kai. Thank that was nice of you. So I'm used to having my table over here, but it's over there. So now I'm like turned around. I don't know what to do without my little table. But this is my little cauldron, and I made us some spooky drinks. So
let's try it.
Happy Halloween to us.
Love the color.
I had hoped you would. It's a tasty little beverage that that Jordan helped me come up with. You met Jordan, right? You've met Jordan. Mm-hmm. So yeah, let's get into it. Let's get into some hot topics. And then we can talk a little Halloween, and get into a little bit of something creepy, a little fun. Do some fun little game that I came up with for us. Yeah, I'm excited about the game, as always, because I'm ridiculous. But yes, so we're going to get into some hot topics. This week, a few things that stood out to me, that kind of thing, along those lines. But right now, one of the biggest things that stood out to me, that was, a plus, a win, was we have the U.S. issued the first non-gender passport.
Stunning.
Did you see that?
Oh my God, I didn't actually.
Yes. So okay. So what happens is they were coming up with the protocol, so to speak, for this gender-neutral passport. And what they did is they marked gender with an X. It's not just completely eliminated, not at least in this protocol. But they have issued the very first one. And what they're saying is the next one's going to be issued within the next year, and it's going to be available for wide consumption.
Very nice.
Yeah. I was like, okay, another one.
Give
check.
us a little bit of hope.
Just a slight little win for us, I'm here for the slight wins because they build up,
And
my
brain is going, be paranoid about that because that means the government's paying attention to who's gender non-conforming.
Oh, that's true.
And, I'm still a little nervous.
Just another level of how much they're paying attention. Don't get me started with conspiracy theorists. I'm the worst, or the best. I don't even know where to begin with that.
The last administration had me nervous.
Oh yeah. So, I know. Oh my God.
All those thoughts are still
here. Me and Dion are still talking about that. I'm like, oh no, I can't even understand how we went through that. That was the real Halloween special, y'all. But so as we're using this platform, I figured I'd be only right to talk about this platform right now. I know you guys probably have heard about it. Facebook is changing its whole entire outward look on what Facebook is. It's changing from a social media network to a meta network. What? Yeah, that was my reaction exactly. So yeah, he's changing the name first of all to Meta, and apparently it's a focus on more being like a business kind of technology site as opposed to a social media site. So what I'm hearing from the gist of that is that basically they're going to be able to sell our information to different technology companies.
Even more so than usual.
Even more so than usual. So yeah, I don't know. How do you feel about this? Did you hear about this Meta situation?
I have not heard about that. I've been kind of in a coma for the past month.
I mean,
between
rightfully so.
Just not paying attention to much. Blinders full on. But that's like I feel every social media platform is moving to monetize more and more. So it makes sense that they
That's
would.
funny
just
that you
push
say
even
that.
further.
Dion, my good friend Dion Sage, was talking about that. He was like, you know, if they gave the option to pay for a privacy setting where you can ensure that your information is not being sold, even though they're moving to this new platform, so to speak, that's another way to make revenue, and probably the best bet for this transition. So it's funny that you mentioned that. That's actually pretty funny. Dion's actually watching. Dion said, yes, complete destruction, you are hideously gorgeous.
Oh.
We love that. Aww. Yeah, thank you, Dion. And Kai Drews says they're stealing our metadata. Yeah, that's what I got from, that was the gist of what I was getting from that.
Everything just, like, our phones are listening to us, targeted ads.
Oh, absolutely.
Coming up just because, like, you say, oh, I want to buy this one specific thing, maybe in the future your phone hears it. Then all of a sudden,
absolutely.
All of a
There have
sudden
been
all your ads are
times
there.
where I've literally have tested that theory. Where I've just said something out loud, like, "Oh, I want this or that," and it'll pop up on like my Instagram timeline or Facebook, and I'm like, "This is ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous. Like,
Welcome
why?
to the future.
Why is this so accurate and so quick? It's scary how quick it is." I was like, "Oh my god." Another thing that stood out to me though, moving forward just a little bit past this Facebook craziness, because I'm sure we're going to hear about it all week. And it's probably going to evolve into something that hopefully is understandable.
I mean, I doubt it.
Oh, I'm glad you have like low hair today.
Yeah,
I was looking at the cobwebs, so I tried to decorate the room, guys, for Halloween. But
you didn't just try; you succeeded.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I wanted to make it a little creepy, a little spooky, a little fun. But I was like, oh gosh, I didn't think about this. I hope that Complete doesn't come in with big hair. And then you literally will just be caught in the cobweb. So,
I fit.
I'm glad that you fit. Tia Maxwell's watching and she says she's getting ready to leave pretty soon for a little Halloween party at a friend's place. Love you both. Oh, thanks, Tia. That. We love you too.
Have a happy Halloween party.
Happy Halloween. Sean Reeves is watching. He's saying 2 legends. Whoa.
Well, it's true.
Wow. Okay. I did not realize I was. All right. I'll take it. Thank you, Sean. Love you. But moving forward just a little bit, another thing that stood out to me. Are you a science buff?
I wouldn't say buff. I'm aware of
science.
Because
like that's where I nerd out. I'm aware of science. I love that. Can we get that on a shirt? I'm aware of science. No, but like I kind of nerd out a little bit about science and like planets and like stuff about the galaxy and stuff like that. And like I was super excited to talk about like this race to space that's happening. Unfortunately, even though it's billionaires that are just playing around with money. Yeah. Anywho's, but I really nerded out about this one too. On Monday, NASA discovered the first possible planet outside of our galaxy. Ooh. The first thing I thought though was, how vain. This is not the first one. This is the one that we know of so far.
We think we're so important.
So annoying. But it's outside of the Milky Way, which, again, is one of the only galaxies that we really have a grasp of understanding with the Milky Way. And so it's funny that the first thing they find is outside of the Milky Way. Of course, maybe expand our boundaries a little bit more. But I'm glad that this is happening. I'm like, ooh, I always thought there was like so much more out there unexplored. And it's probably for a good reason, because they don't want us to explore it. But yeah, did you hear about that? Did you hear about this planet situation?
I mean, I'm going to assume that most things that you talk about I have not heard.
Oh, good. Love that. That makes it so much easier for me, because I can just talk, and everything I say will seem interesting because you don't know. Oh, can I buy a house on that planet? You know what? That's probably the goal. I think that's why we're having billionaires go into space. They're like, okay, how can I colonize this before anyone else gets here?
They've ruined the Earth, and thus they want to move somewhere else.
Absolutely. They're like, okay, let's just take our mayhem somewhere else and just ruin it there. No problem. No problem. I forgot to mention this with Facebook, but another thing with Facebook, you might have heard about this, the whistleblower that was coming out and saying how horrible the conditions are to work there and things like that. Still, the whistleblowers, this woman, I forget her name, is still actually advocating and actively speaking against working for Facebook as a company, which might have actually brought on this rebrand. Huh. I took business class, y'all. It's another thing that came out this week was that people have noticed that Facebook language has some blind spots that allow hate speeches to flourish. We've all experienced that.
Yeah. Oh,
we've all
new news.
No, not at all. We've all experienced that. Like as creatives, I'm sure we've all had a few arguments here and there on Facebook that.
Thankfully, I think I've curated my profile well enough where I don't really have anyone that disagrees with me.
I'm trying to get to that. I'm trying to get to that level. That's what it is.
It's nice because I go on the timeline when I do log on for the 5 minutes a week that I go on. I go on and I'm like, oh, I agree with all of this.
Yeah.
And
it's the world that you create. Yeah, that's what social media should be. Yeah, absolutely. I hope and pray that most people agree with what I say on my social media pages because it's pretty active. Not gonna lie, but yeah, I see a lot of things that I agree with. So I hope that it's the same in return. And if not, hey, let's sit down and talk. Why not? I'm down to have a conversation. Shout out to Rage Ramsey, by the way, for doing this lovely Beetlegeist makeup. I can't say his name. If I say his name, then you know what happens.
Well, you'd have to say it 3 times.
So I can get away with it twice. That's what you're saying. But shout out to Rage Ramsey for doing this beautiful, gorgeous face for me for today because I did not want to do it and I could not do it. But I'm going to sweat it out. It's going to be gone, I promise. So there's that.
Oh my god. Setting spray, bitch.
So warm. I know. We both forgot the setting spray. Between the two of us, we both forgot the setting spray. But, again, thank you so much, Rage. It came out the way I wanted it. Here we are.
Love Rage.
We love Rage.
We love Rage.
I was like, I know you're probably busy, and Rage immediately was like, no, I'm doing it. Let's go. All right, what time do you want me to be there? I was like, okay, yeah, let's do this. But yeah, the speaking of like hate speeches on Facebook, you sure you haven't heard about this one, but there's a whole thing going back and forth with Lil Nas and the rapper Lil Boosie. I just don't understand, one, why people keep trying to come for Lil Nas X.
Yeah, you should.
Shouldn't. Comeback King, first of all, always is on point with coming back on to people, like, regardless of what they say, what they have to say about his career, about him being queer, blah, blah, blah. He's always come back with fire. So I don't know why people are still trying Lil Nas X. But also, Lil Boosie is kind of irrelevant right now. And for me, always irrelevant because I don't really listen to that kind of rap.
I've never heard their name. So,
yeah, exactly. That says a lot. You're not doing what you need to do as an artist, and so now you're attacking someone who's doing better than you.
Yeah.
That's what it seems to me, but it's a whole lot of back and forth with the Lil Boosie and Lil Nas X thing. I was like, I'm over it. I don't know what to think about this situation, but I'm glad that it's exposing again this algorithm that allows hate crime to go on, because he actually said, like, in the end of his message, he said #commit suicide.
Wow.
To Lil Nas, right? And
the algorithm didn't pick that up.
Didn't pick that up, but yeah, but if you say something, if you say like fuck or bitch, they will basically put you in Facebook jail. But not someone saying #commit suicide.
And that's surprising because of the, like, I remember vaguely several, maybe a decade ago when that was a big thing, when all of the hip and cool people were telling each other to kill themselves.
Oh yeah. And then if you said it, they would, like, literally, like Facebook and all the other social medias, if you said kill yourself, they would block you or, like, limit your page or something along those lines. I remember that, actually. Yeah. Kill yourself was a big deal. I think it was a song, too. I'm pretty sure it was a pop song where the girl was like, kill yourself, and then everyone took that line and was like, kill yourself, so cute. But it wasn't really.
I mean, one can appreciate it ironically.
Yes, I think that's where it was intended to be, but it kind of...
I mean, the postmodern sense of social media and pop culture means that people are dumb.
That's actually pretty accurate, I'm not going to lie.
Small groups of people, usually intelligent. Large groups of people...
Yes. No. Large groups... That's so true. You know what? One thing I found with sitting down and talking to you too, and I'm going to say this now, is that you, like, have exceeded all the possible, like, things that I could have thought would happen from speaking to you. And, like, I've literally have been so thrilled getting to know you and, like, sitting down and actually standing and actually talking to you, because we never have a time to sit. Never. This is right. This is different.
It's strange.
But I really have enjoyed that and getting to know you. And, like, I was just telling Rodney Davis I love Rodney. I was telling Rodney, I was like, I really was pleasantly surprised to get to know the complete, the complete. I was like, you're one of the first people that I was, like, starstruck when I met. I was like, complete, oh my god.
I hate it.
Yeah. You hate it? Really? What? Come on. I was like, oh my god, I'm meeting complete. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. So I remember that moment very much. And then one of the very first moments after that was the picture that I used in the promo video where you were dressed like the woman from the alien from Fifth Element.
Plava Laguna.
It was so good. And that's when I started to recognize your artistry. And I was like, oh, she's such an artist. They're so well done. I can't. So I'm going to get that fanboy out right now so we can continue without me having to fanboy all day. But yes, you're amazing.
I love it.
So that's that. Okay. So another thing that I really geek out about, that I nerd out about, is aliens and like other like species and like things like that along those lines. And the New York Post posted something recently, and I wonder if it's just pandering to the time of year when I see these kinds of things. But the New York Post also posted something saying they had someone caught a 5-minute video of a UFO floating and pulsating and then dropping out of the air like in a split second. So I really was excited to hear about that. I don't know. How do you feel about that? Do you believe that?
Oh, I've seen some shit.
Ooh, okay. So this is the kind of part of the conversation that I want to get in about Halloween and things like that. So tell me.
So I was driving home from Boston one night with a car full of friends. Most of them were asleep in the back seat.
Kind of love that.
Yeah, my co-pilot and I'm. Okay, so don't quote me, but I'm like 80% sure it was Pulp.
Okay. Okay. Shout out to Pulp, we love you.
No, love Pulp. But so we were driving and it was like dead of night because obviously we were coming back from Boston.
Right.
And so much fog, could barely see beyond the road. And we were passing by the IKEA on whatever that highway.
I know the IKEA because it's the one of the only IKEAs.
And out of nowhere, above the tree line, 3 layers of lights turned on. 3 white lights rotating clockwise, 3 red lights above that rotating counterclockwise, and then 3 white lights above that rotating clockwise again.
Really?
Went on for about like 10 seconds, and then gone.
10 seconds. That's a long time to realize something like that.
We were like, what the hell is that?
What actually just happened? No, seriously, that's how most people report those incidents. They're like, I honestly don't know what happened. Like either it happened so quickly, or they were just kind of out of it, or like a lot of those kinds of encounters is always described like that. Like I don't know. I really don't know. And then the parts that they do remember is spotty. And so for you to remember like that much of it, I'm like,
I mean,
whoa.
it was like dead empty highway. Just above the tree, like we could see the outlines of the trees because of the lights.
That reminds me of the newest American Horror Story episode.
I haven't seen it yet.
I know, I'm not gonna ruin it for anyone, but that
No
that kind of happened. I have always thought like, okay, yes, there is intelligent life other than ours, but do they want to be in contact with us? Probably not. Probably not. They probably assessed us as a race already and was like, nope, curve.
I live here and I don't want to know anyone, so.
That's hilarious. You're not of this world, so it's fine. It's fine. You know, people like us, when we know we're not a part of this, then it's okay. We just sit back and watch and laugh. It's like,
because what else can you do?
Right?
Just laugh.
Right. Just laugh and make sure, smile a little bit. Another thing that stood out to me, and we're going to move forward into our first game after this, is marijuana vaping, actually. Marijuana vaping, you probably know from being in the club life, like, it has grown so much within the school-age kids. From the year 2013 to 2020, it has tripled the use of marijuana vaping, and vaping in general. And even, again, this morning with Rage doing my makeup, Rage was vaping the whole time. I'm like, what is this vape thing? It's terrible to me. I can't get with it. Do you vape?
I don't vape. Unfortunately, I smoke cigarettes.
I do know that.
Yes.
That's when we have our best conversations.
Smoke break, yeah. And I really don't like vaping because it doesn't hit the same way. It doesn't burn.
But that's the allure to it, from what I understand, is that it's not the same as a cigarette.
I understand that, and I'm also kind of concerned about like the science behind it because we haven't had it for very long, and there are studies that show that people develop rapid lung infections, because it's just.
That's very true. And from what I understand about it, it's also not a lower dose of nicotine or anything. It's just it's concentrated, so it's probably more.
It's technically more addictive. I think because because of the constant influx and there's no end to it.
You just keep going.
And then, like, if you stop, your body's like,
where
is it?
And to pile on to that, cigarette sales have also doubled in the last year.
No way.
Yeah, and the sale of cigarettes actually hasn't risen. The amount of sales in cigarette hasn't risen in 20 years.
Damn.
I think it mostly has to do with the pandemic. I don't know. What do you think?
I would agree with that.
The pandemic more. Sorry. After we had Elijah on the show, we are no longer calling it pandemic. It's a pandemic more. Yes. And quarantini. Thank you so much for that, Elijah, because that's what
quarantini.
For the quarantini. Yeah.
Panda Express.
I do love a good Panda Express, I'm not gonna lie. Jason Morrow, thanks for watching. Jason Morrow says hi. That was our hot topics section. I wanted to keep it short and brief this week because I want to get into some spooky talk. But trigger alert! I have these fun little shots for us. Thank you, Jacqueline Nelson, for letting me know about the trigger alert. Just so you guys know, I'm gonna pull out something that may or may not trigger you guys, but it's just for fun.
It looks like a syringe.
It looks like a syringe, but it's okay.
It's not a real.
So I have some syringes for us, and I'm going to fill them with little shots, and I made them look like blood.
Oh, perfect.
So it is just grenadine vodka soda.
Hey.
That's for you. Oh, wait.
We've lost the light.
We've lost the light. That's why I have the backup light. And these are our little syringes, y'all. So, cheers.
Cheers. Thank you.
And then this cup can rest our syringes. Isn't it good? I was like, it's mostly grenadine, so there's that.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. So, tell me more about this. Okay, so we talked about the aliens, right? We talked about that encounter. But have you ever genuinely... Okay, and I have gotten to this on my Facebook a little recently. Around this time of year, I feel like the veil between the spirit realm and the natural realm is thinning. And
Well, dear, it's a veil. It's not a quilt.
Right. Thank you. Oh, I love... Another quote. Someone get that on a t-shirt. No, but like it is a little bit more apparent to people who may not be very conscious of the spirit realm around this time period. And so I've always been aware of that because of, one, my religion. As a Christian, I believe in a Holy Ghost and a spirit that, that came from a person, but a spirit nonetheless. So I would be weary to not see everything else. But I wonder, how have you ever genuinely felt like with a spiritual encounter, like that you've been watched, or like have you felt like you've had like an encounter, so to speak?
So I've had several.
Okay, I knew that might have been your answer. So okay, let's tell me more.
So like I am a subscriber to the belief that there are realms beyond our own.
Okay.
I would say the most intense encounter that I had happened on my college campus. I went to UMass Dartmouth, which is it looks like a prison, but in the center of it, because of the setup, it's brutalist architecture, so it's concrete and very straight lines.
Okay.
I loved it, which is one of the reasons why I went there. I was like, this place looks awesome.
That's why I picked this apartment. Not gonna lie.
Brilliant. And in the center of campus, if one thinks and subscribes to the idea about spirits and ghosts and things, heavy amounts of electronic energy tend to draw them, because if one thinks of spirits as energy, then it makes sense that large areas of energy would pull them. In the center of campus is the thing called the campanile, which is the device that gives off the Wi-Fi signal and also broadcasts the radio.
So that's a huge draw.
Yes, huge transponder. And I was couldn't sleep one night, and I was walking around with a couple of friends, and we walked over to the campanile, and all of a sudden, every sound beyond us stopped.
Oh,
like it was
the
crickets
stillness,
and cicadas and wind, and it was slightly raining, and everything just stopped.
That gives me like the heebie-jeebies when I've been in that.
And we were just chit-chatting and.
Okay. Lovely.
Hello, delay.
Hello, delay.
And we were just chit-chatting, and we didn't notice at first, and then all of a sudden we were like, hey, what is going on? And then Out of the corner of my eye, there were a series of benches very low to the ground, and the way that there was a floodlight, and so everything beneath the bench was shadowed. And out of the corner of my eye, I see something scrabbling underneath, and I turned to look, and then I didn't see it anymore, and then I turned away, and it was back, and it was human-sized, and...
Not human-sized!
And, like, tumbling underneath.
I'm getting, like, the Ring vibes in my head right now.
It was very that, but just shadow.
Oh my god.
And I was like, we should probably... And he's like, there's something under the bench, isn't there?
Oh, yeah.
One of my friends was like, there's something under the bench. I was like, yeah, can we go?
You know what's funny? I've always been the person that's always, like, identifying with, like... Do you guys see that?
Yeah.
No? If you don't see it, I don't see it.
Yeah.
Like, that kind of moment.
We turned to leave, and this centralized gust of wind came down into me, and I felt it go through me.
Yes. So that, okay.
And we were like, and my friends were like, that wind just touched you, not us.
Not anyone else. Yes.
We are going, and we ran into the amphitheater, which was right next door. It's a huge dish cut out into the earth with seats lining it, because there was several floodlights in there. And we were standing in the light because we were like, no more shadows, no more darkness.
No more shadows.
And we were we stayed there for a couple of minutes, and we were looking around like, oh, okay, things are calming down. What? Oh no.
Oh no.
Because the thing is a depression into the earth, you could see beyond it. It was just dark because it was dark, and there were no lights really that you could see from beyond it. The darkness started coming in. Like literally,
like leaking in,
like filling down.
Yes.
And we were like, no, and we ran back to the dorms.
So then that answers my next question too. So like, are you normally like the kind of person who's like welcoming to those kinds of things, or are you just like, I don't know what's going on, fuck this, I'm good?
For the most part, I'd say like it's a thing. It's a part of life, in my opinion. I live across the street from a cemetery. And I'd like to say that I get wanderers.
You know what? I've always been taught not to like, to be respectful of graveyards because of that reason. That's so funny. You live across the street from one? How serendipitous. What?
I mean, it's on brand.
It's very on brand for you to live across the street from a graveyard.
I couldn't sleep in my room for like a summer once.
Kai Drew says we love some brutalist architecture. Thank you, Kai.
Amen.
Yeah, we do,
Amen.
right?
Yeah.
But it's funny that, certain places are more prone to those kinds of encounters as well, because they're, like you said, they're charged electricity-wise, or like they're charged spiritually-wise, where they attract those kinds of things. Which is one of the draws I want to say to like Salem, for instance, like with a lot of people.
I mean, there's a lot of history there.
With a lot of history. I feel like there's definitely some sort of draw, some sort of spiritual draw there. Is it as spooky and creepy as people think? No, not at all. It's a town in Massachusetts. Yeah. But
I was in the Hawthorne Hotel a couple weekends ago.
Oh.
One of the most haunted hotels.
And you were like, eh.
And, I mean, there was a party. I was in a party, and I was like, this place looks like the Shining
You
Hotel.
would be like, eh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's how I would imagine Complete is reacting to that kind of scenario.
Generally, spiritual experiences are like, oh, that's happening.
Okay. Yeah, no.
I mean, we can't do much about it.
Yeah, no, for sure. That's very true. There's not much you can really do. Once it starts to happen, that's why I'm like, I wonder if you like are one of those people who is like, ooh, okay, this is happening, let me figure out why it's happening, or if you're like, fuck this, I'm out.
I mean, for the most part, I'm like, if it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Otherwise, like, I mean, once in a while, like, I've had an experience where I had to help sage my apartment, and then also a friend's apartment. My apartment wasn't so bad. I lived in New Bedford for a little while with some friends.
Bad, New Bedford.
Well, yeah.
Oof.
One in like a historic house that had been converted into apartments, and one of our roommates decided to Ouija because she's awful.
As if we haven't seen that happen terribly so many times.
And, when we first moved in, I saged just because it's good to do that when you move into a new place to make it.
I hate the smell, but absolutely, I agree. It drives me crazy, and I know some people might think that's because I'm evil or something along those lines. I just really don't like the smell of sage. Just like, I appreciate the benefits that it creates, of course, but I don't like the smell. I don't.
I mean, that's like how some people can't eat cilantro.
Right. And I love some good cilantro rice, so there's that.
But so she Ouija'd, and like our cabinets were opening and we were hearing footsteps
Oh,
above
no.
us, and there wasn't an apartment
Oh,
above us.
no!
Saged again and it went away. One of my friends' houses we were in, also that same roommate moved in with another one of my friends, also Ouija'd in their apartment.
Why are we continuing this Ouija experience?
Don't ask me,
Oh my
because I
gosh.
told her flat out, like,
Jesus.
not in my house.
Jesus,
but-
actually Jesus,
yeah,
like
please
actual
help.
Jesus.
And,
That's the only spirit I want floating around, Jesus. Well,
her stove turned on. Without,
that's scary.
Without the fire. All the vents.
Yeah, because then you're like smelling that,
it
and
was just
that's
gas
dangerous.
filling it, and we were smoking in the house.
Ooh, that one might have been a malevolent spirit.
Yeah.
We got to be careful with that, y'all.
Exactly.
I was talking about that on Facebook too. Like, don't be fooled by the malevolent spirits that come to visit you, because they will come to visit you with a guise. So we're not gonna get into that, but don't be fooled by malevolent spirits. Moving forward just a little bit, before we get into more questioning, I want to play at least one of the games today, because I have some fun games. Yes! And you know what? Funny enough, the name of the game is called Body Count. And so I was like, oh, that was the voice for this game. Perfect. Although, which syringe is yours? Because I
That
think
one's
it's
yours.
time for another.
Mine was facing
shot.
me.
Yeah. Oh, smart. That's what I'm. That's more than a shot. My gosh. Okay. I filled mine past the point of. So now I have to do the same to yours.
Great.
Yes.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome. Salute.
Cheers.
Haha. Okay, so yes, the first game, Body Count. Haha. It's also a new game that I haven't played before here on Tea with Taylor, but I saw it played on the Inner Circle. Shout out to the Inner Circle gang. One of these podcasts that two. I would say I'm friends with all three of the hosts now. But one of them moved to New York from Rhode Island, and then one of them lives in Rhode Island, and then the third person lives in New York. They have an amazing show, the Inner Circle, so shout out to you guys. But they played this game on their show, and I really thought it was super fun and super appropriate. Of course, it's called Body Count. And so the point of the game is I'm going to list serial killers.
Okay.
And, right, you're like, I'm so on board already. I'm going to list serial killers, like famous serial killers that we all know. And you have to tell me which one you think has a higher body count, who has killed more people.
Okay.
That's the game. So we're going to get started with body count. You guys ready? Are you ready?
I've read a lot of true crime.
True crime
but-
is such a good fix. Oh my gosh.
We'll see if I remember anything.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna give you two names at a time.
Uh-huh.
So there's Norman Bates. If you guys know Norman Bates from Bates Motel and from previous. What was the previous?
Psycho.
Yes, Psycho. From Psycho. And then we have Candyman, which is one of my favorite serial killers because Candyman never killed anyone who didn't have his name in their mouth. So that's the lesson there.
Are we referring to like the original Candyman?
So we're talking about the original, not including the newest Candyman movie.
Okay, but are
so,
we also talking about the original 3 Candymans?
Yes, the original
Okay.
3 Candymans, as opposed to the original Norman Bates series.
So like all 7 of those?
Yes.
Okay. Candyman.
Yes, you're right. Correct. Clap, clap, clap. That's so funny. Okay, so Norman Bates has 20 kills, and that's not including the new Bates Motel series that came out,
fantastic.
which was so good. But not including the new Norman Bates series. And Candyman has 22 kills. So I thought it would be
lucky.
more. I thought it would be more. But again, he doesn't kill people unless they call him out and summon him. Don't summon Candyman. That's the lesson here. Okay, next two. Leatherface and Ghostface.
Leatherface.
Interesting. Why do you say that?
I don't remember.
Leatherface was a little bit more gruesome, I would say. That's why I thought Leatherface. But actually, Ghostface has 4 more kills than Leatherface.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Leatherface has 31 and Ghostface has 35. Okay. And again, this is not including anything current. This is anything that's happened in the past up until the current.
Okay.
So yeah. I thought Leatherface had it too. Like, Leatherface is the one with the chainsaw, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, so hello. I'm like, I would think, but no, it was Ghostface.
Okay.
And that's this killer from Scream.
Tilt your book away from me. Cause
Can you see it?
they
were reading.
I can't read it because my contacts don't allow me to read.
They don't allow you to see very well. I love that.
Only vague shapes.
I was getting read for my book when the Browns were here. They were like,
yeah.
"This is the creative book for sure." All my highlights and side notes and things like that. But okay, moving forward, one of my favorite serial killers, Chucky or Freddy.
Oh.
Yeah, and that's from Nightmare on Elm Street. If you guys don't know, which I imagine you would. Again, not including anything current. So it's Chucky versus Freddy.
But like, are we talking like just to like Seed of Chucky, or like Cult
Up
of
until
Chucky?
Seed of Chucky, yes.
Okay. It was Chucky or who?
Freddy.
Freddy. That's tough.
Right?
That's tough.
Right? Chucky's one of my favorites, so I was
yeah.
like, oh, I don't know. But Chucky was also really smart with the way he killed. He was trying not to get caught for a really long time.
I'm gonna say Freddy.
Ding, ding, ding. Absolute.
Okay.
Correct.
Okay.
Freddy has one more kill than Chucky. One more. Just one more. I was like, oh, that's insane. But again, Chucky, when I thought about it, I was like, Chucky was being smart. He didn't want to get caught. He's a doll, you know. That was the best part about being a doll was anonymity. Yeah. Okay. What was the next one? Pinhead versus Leprechaun. Who has the highest body count? And you guys can tell me in the comments too. Pinhead or Leprechaun?
Leprechaun.
Wow, you're right. Correct. Why do you think that? I was so sleeping on Leprechaun.
Well, for the most part, Pinhead doesn't really kill anyone that doesn't open the box.
Very true. Very true. I guess I didn't make that connection.
Yeah.
I literally was like, are you serious? Like, Leprechaun's a joke. But Pinhead has... I laugh at Leprechaun. If a Leprechaun came at me right now and was like, ha, I'm going to kill you, I'm like, okay, sure.
One of his kills that freaked me out the most was when he teleported his pot of gold inside of a homeless person.
Oh, I remember that.
That
yeah.
bothered me
Leprechaun
so
was
bad.
real. Like, he was, like, real. Like, he was really, like, about the killing, like, spree. But I just thought it was funny. I thought it was hilarious.
Oh, no, those movies are so good.
But Leprechaun has 50 kills. And Pinhead only has 35.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, what?
Most of them were in one movie.
Right, it was all in the one movie. I was like, are you kidding me right now? That's insane. But okay, sure. Okay, we have two more.
Okay.
Jigsaw, which is another one of my favorite serial killers because he was so smart. Jigsaw versus Hannibal, who was also very smart.
Ooh,
Right.
excluding the show, yeah?
Excluding the show, yes.
All right, and excluding Manhunter. Actually, he didn't kill anyone.
Yeah, I was like, Manhunter? Did he kill people in that?
Well, that was the original Red Dragon.
Oh, I know Red Dragon. I don't know Manhunter. I'm like, huh.
Yes, it was made. It has the guy that played Grissom in CSI as.
Yes! I know
okay.
that guy.
I'm gonna say Jigsaw.
Huh. Okay. You know what? Kai says, could you realistically say Jigsaw killed anyone? The point was the chance of death, but he didn't kill. Okay. All right. You're kind of right on that, but he did kill people.
He set up situations in which they could die.
Right.
And thus they died.
And thus they died. Because of him. That was a good one, though, Kai. Thank you for that little mindfuck. Yeah. Thank you.
I mean, that is correct. If we're talking, but in a moral context.
Yes. In a moral context.
He put them in a place where they could die, and that's more mortal peril, and it's his fault.
It is his fault. Absolutely.
I won't say that he was doing a good thing, but...
Believe it or not, between Jigsaw and Hannibal,
it's a tie.
Hannibal has 98 kills.
Oh.
Jigsaw has 60 plus. They didn't quite... because of what Kai said, they couldn't quite put a full number on it, but 60 plus. So it's not far out of the 60 realm. But Hannibal has 98 kills under his belt. 98.
I wish we could have seen them all.
Right? I'm like, what? And one of my friends on the Inner Circle actually said this, but Hannibal probably was harboring a lot of bodies because he was eating them.
Yeah.
So he probably killed a lot of people and just froze them or kept them in storage or what have you. I don't claim to know what cannibals do.
They did a great job in the show if you haven't seen it.
I saw part of it. I didn't see, I started watching it and then I kind of like something else that I was more interested in started, and I was like, okay, I'm watching this.
It's one of the cutest gay love stories that I've ever seen.
Oh my god, really?
Yeah, Hannibal and Will Graham are in love.
Oh yeah, they are.
Yeah,
they absolutely are.
The show director said so it's real.
It's kind of apparent, unfortunately, and fortunately for the show because their connection. But it's kind of apparent that they are in love with each other. And the last one, guys. Mike Myers or Jason?
Jason.
Ooh, correct. You know what? Mike Myers has 133. Jason has 150. 151. So not too far off. Not too far off. But I was like,
not too bad.
I was like, holy crap! These are the two most iconic serial killers.
Yeah.
But other than Freddy, I would say Mike Myers and Jason are like top two.
Oh, very much so.
Oh yes.
They're classics. That's why they're horror classics.
I can't even believe that they have the highest body count of all these people right now.
Well, I mean, Jason's brutal.
I heard the new movie though sucks.
Halloween Kills.
Halloween Kills. I heard it sucked.
One of my friends who's
sorry about the spoiler, guys.
One of my friends who's a huge Halloween fan says that the dialogue is terrible, but if you like watching Michael Myers brutally murder so many people, this is the movie for it.
I kind of thought it was like what's her name?
Jamie Lee.
Jamie Lee. I thought it was kind of like Jamie Lee Curtis's like last claim to this whole saga. Like she was like, I'm gonna grasp onto this for one last Halloween. Like this is it.
I mean, from what I hear, like she was like, I'm gonna go back because it was fun, and I was like, have fun.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
No, absolutely.
Life. Yeah. Her with a shotgun was so hot to me.
It was kind of hot. Yeah. I was weirded out by how hot it was.
Yeah, I was like, Cougar Mommy, shoot me in the face.
I know. I was like, this is weird, but I'm kind of attracted to this scenario. Huh. All right. I'm glad somebody else feels that way. As a pansexual, as a newly found pansexual, I'm always surprised at what I'm attracted to these days. I'm like, what's going on? What is happening? Okay. All right. Let's just go with this. But with that, one of the things that I wanted to ask you is not only inspiration for your career and all the things that you've done, especially like the spooky, glam, gorgeous things that you do, the creepy, wondrous like things that you create through your art. But not only that, what inspires you to continue to do that? And also, because I am one that follows looks hardcore, 100%, we stand Miss Kira Stone here on Tea with Taylor. We've talked about her so much, but I literally have a reel in my head of all the looks of all my favorite queens, and you're one of them. And so I wanted to know, on top of what inspires these looks, what is maybe your top 2 favorite Halloween looks that you've done?
So, we're going to get a little bit intellectual about this for a second.
I love getting into intellectual.
So, horror has always drawn me because of the sense of otherness. Like, villains are something separate from, like, safe humanity.
The other category, absolutely. We all relate to that.
And it's a huge part of queer identity is being, like, feeling separate from the rest of society. Since I was young, I was always drawn to creepy characters because I was like, they look awesome. They look cool, and they're fun, and they have fun with what they're doing. Yeah. And
I've always been attracted to the edge of the villain. Like, they always have an edge, and I'm like, ooh.
Exactly. Not to mention when they're queer coded.
Oh, yes, this is true. This is very true.
And so, like, I've always indulged in horror because it felt closest to sort of how I felt inside.
Okay.
Minus the murder.
Minus the murder. Okay. Yes.
Allegedly.
Complete is not a murder. Allegedly, a murderer. Allegedly.
And so I've always really appreciated it, and I've always appreciated the creativity that goes into creating a real monster. And actually, one of my career path ideas has always been to create like movie monsters. And,
that actually, I think you would do really well with that. That sounds amazing.
I mean, in the past year, I've had a lot of time to think about what I'm doing in the future, and that I might actually start pushing towards that again because now I feel. I've been drawing again. I haven't drawn in like 4 years.
That's good.
And
you know what? Another thing that I actually was really thinking about for myself was getting into costume design and getting into doing wardrobing for different movie sets and TV sets because with my styling company, that's something that I've always wanted to do. It's like be in charge of like the way an entire show's wardrobe looks. Like it plays a huge role into that fantasy that you're indulging yourself.
Exactly.
So like I really would love to take that avenue. So that's my next goal. I'm glad to hear you say that.
Yeah.
Gabriel Sphinx Alvarado says she forgot to have her Activia though. Miss Jamie Lee Curtis. I guess she forgot to have her Activia.
She's just gonna kill Michael Myers by making him shit himself to death.
Basically, she's gonna withhold his flaxseed and his brand so that he's irregular. Ivan Mont, thank you for watching. Ivan from the Inner Circle is watching. It says, looking cool. Thank you, Ivan. I hope that we look cool and not like it's just a dark room because that was the idea.
I mean, from what I can see, we look fine.
Right, from what I can see, we look gorgeous. Yeah. So yeah, we'll watch later and find out. So thanks for that, Ivan. So that's really interesting, though. Again, like that's something that we all relate to in the queer community is like the other category, and that's why I relate to you so hard, Scroll Hardcore, and I'm always like fanboying for you and. Like, you know, whatever I have to do to make sure that you feel supported because you speak to that dynamic, you speak to that group of people, like, whether you know it or not. I hope you know. But you speak to that group of people and you cross barriers and you're not afraid to have conversations with people. So that's always been something I've noticed as far as your artistry.
Thank you.
Yeah. No, yeah, it's great what you do. Keep doing it.
Oh, I don't plan on stopping.
That's why I was like, I really need to know your inspiration. What keeps you going?
It's a compulsion, really. And you would also ask my top 2 favorite looks.
Yes, your top two favorite Halloween looks. And actually, like to elaborate a little bit before we get into our game, your top 2 favorite looks as complete, and your top 2 favorite looks outside of who you are, someone else.
Like other people.
Other people. Because for me, I know I loved to see, up until the last 2 years, I loved to see Heidi Klum. And like everything Heidi Klum does is so creative and so cool. And I'm like, oh, yes, okay, a celebrity is actually pushing the boundaries. Love that. But I have my queens as well who have turned some looks. But I'll let you say yours first.
Well, for me, my 2 favorites actually, I would have to say are the Countess, Lady Gaga's character from American Horror Story Hotel.
Oh, yes. You crushed that look.
Thank you.
You looked gorgeous. I remember coming up to you and I was like, the glove and everything? Yes, it's all about the details.
One must, even on a budget. And and the other one would have to be Pyramid Head.
Did I see that one?
I'm not sure.
Pyramid Head. Describe her. Describe this
from
look.
Silent Hill. The very tall, creepy man with the
yes,
dress
I saw this. Yes, that was good.
Hat.
That was really good.
Thank you.
Have you done the look from Beetlejuice yet? When they stretch their faces out with the...
No, I haven't done those.
I would love to see you do that.
They were on my possible list for this year.
I am going to charge you with that.
Okay.
That's something I want to see.
Yeah, next year or at some point, maybe I'll find out when Beetlejuice came out.
Okay, do like an anniversary homage kind of thing. Okay, I love that. Yaruka, thanks for watching. Yaruka says I love her. Yes, we love Complete. Complete is everything. Complete is complete.
I complete you.
Aw, yes. You complete my Halloween special because I wasn't going to do it without you. So there's that. I was going to have a regular show without you, so there's that. But I'm really glad to learn that little tidbit about you because, again, that brings me just a little step closer to getting to know who you are as a person. And that makes me get all bubbly inside. But we're not going to get that queer. Not today. Not
right now.
Not right now. But so what are some of your favorite looks outside of the things that you've done?
Wow.
Give me 2 of them.
I mean, honestly...
Or two people that inspire you.
Yeah. So, I will say, because you mentioned Heidi Klum, the Jessica Rabbit look that she did.
So good.
Which I only found out because I follow the effects company that did it for her.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And I didn't know she did that.
And it takes a team, y'all. Don't be fooled. It's not just her in her bathroom. It's a team.
No, she had 15
Literally.
People, and they made all of the prosthetics for that personally. And that was cool. Let's say I have to say anything that Dolly from who was on Dragula.
Oh.
Their face has always
I forgot about Dolly.
Blown my mind.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
I like what Dolly does. I've really always been kind of drawn to Landon Cider since I knew Landon Cider.
Love Landon.
love Landon. Landon said it was just in Boston, and I missed Landon.
I know.
So sad.
I'm so mad that the Boston event that they do that at
know.
happens on the night that I'm
So
hosting down
mad.
here.
But I'm gonna give you some time to promote that. Don't worry. But I'm really looking forward to it. I loved your little flyer with you in the middle and your name.
Yeah.
I was like, yes, complete.
Someone was like, "You're headlining at this event." I'm like, "No, they just made individual
No,
flyers."
you are headlining. They just didn't know you were headlining. Yeah, the other queens didn't know, but you're headlining.
We all get one of those posters.
No, actually for the Pride event that's happening on Saturday, we all got one of those too. So yeah.
I was supposed to be at that, but I have to be in Boston at 3. So
You're literally always working. I always say that whenever anyone says something about Complete, I'm like, Complete is a working girl, always. Like, you're always working.
Well, this is right now. This has been my only job for 6 or 7 years.
Oh, nice.
And so I have to be.
Yeah, no, that's good. And with that being said, make sure you guys tip. I make sure to post my Cash App and Venmo on every episode. Make sure you guys are tipping if you like what you're seeing. Pushing forward to putting in some monies towards getting a new producer and all those things along those lines. So feel free to tip. We always appreciate that here at Tea with Taylor.
If you want to pay Taylor to never have me on again, now's your chance.
No. I might have to call on you to be again because I literally just can't get enough.
I would love to be back.
Oh,
anytime you want.
Okay.
And I'll leave extra early.
Okay, so we're gonna get into our next game, and then I'm gonna give you guys back your Friday. I promise. We have exactly 10 minutes before I have to let Complete go because Complete is busy. Complete is working. Okay, so our next game is Dead or Alive. I played Dead or Alive recently, and it's another game that I kind of just, I don't know, I found out of the blue, out of the woodworks, of the depths of my mind. But I played it maybe 3 weeks ago, and it was great. And so now I have to come up with a whole list of new names for this game. That was not great. But the point of this game, Dead or Alive, is I'm going to list a group of 3 names, and you need to tell me if those 3 people are dead or alive. It's just that simple.
I'll summon the spirits.
Yes. And these are people that you may or may not have thought of once upon a time. Is this person alive? What?
Is the Mandela effect in full effect?
Yes! Oh my god, oh my god, Complete. Okay. Alright, we don't have enough time to get into the Mandela effect. That's a whole nother
Next
thing.
episode.
Next episode. Okay, so Dead or Alive. The first 3 people I'm going to shoot your way. Betty White, Patti LaBelle, Elvis. Yeah, I figured I'd throw one in there that might be pretty easy.
Well, Elvis is dead. Betty White's still alive. Patti LaBelle is also alive.
Yeah. Wow. 3 for 3. Okay, Complete. Shoot. Maybe we need some more drinks. I don't know. You're like 2 on it.
Oh no, I'm very good at quiz games.
Oh my god, I see. Wow. Okay. Tito Jackson, Jesse Jackson, Dolly Parton.
You fucked me up with this one.
I know! I knew this one would get you. I knew this one.
Dolly's alive. Jesse Jackson is alive. And
Tito Jackson
is dead.
Huh. Okay, 2 out of 3 that time. 2 out of 3.
So Tito's alive?
Tito is alive.
Okay.
All 3 of those people were alive. Tito Jackson is alive, Jesse Jackson's alive, and Dolly Parton's alive. Although, I even had to say, I don't know if Tito was alive, and I did not know if Jesse was still alive. I knew Dolly Parton. We love Dolly Parton. We love a good Dolly Parton. But I did not know about the Jacksons. I was unsure. Dion Sage is saying, I'm a Complete Destruction fanboy. Complete Destruction, can you put me in your dungeon already?
Since you asked so nicely.
I know. If the dungeon exists, I mean, sure. We can get you fitted, Dion. Sure. But I would like to be first. So there's that. We have to fight about our placement in that dungeon. Moving forward, this one might catch you a little bit too.
Okay.
Ricky Lake, Elizabeth Taylor, or Mr. T?
Mr. T is still alive. Liz Taylor is dead. And Ricky Lake is dead.
Ha! 2 out of 3 again.
Oh, really?
Mrs. T's alive, Elizabeth Taylor is dead, and Ricky Lake is still alive. Do you guys remember Ricky Lake? Oh my god, that one took me way back. I had to Google that one too. I was like, is Ricky Lake alive? I'm not sure, because Ricky Lake was iconic for a little while.
Yeah.
She started this whole, like...
Damn.
talk show era thing that we all like had adhered to so quickly. But yeah, Ricky Like's alive. She's in her 60s, early 60s. Yeah, Ricky Like's alive. Last one, guys. Shirley Temple, Aretha Franklin, and Jimmy Carter.
I mean, Shirley Temple's definitely dead. My mom loved Shirley Temple.
We loved Shirley Temple.
Yeah.
Sorry, I gave you the answer. Yikes.
But I mean, I knew that one. Let's say the names again.
Shirley Temple, Aretha Franklin, and Jimmy Carter.
I'm gonna say that Jimmy Carter's. Oh no.
He was he was one of our presidents. I can't remember the name, the number.
I'm pretty sure. Oh fuck. Sorry.
No, it's fine. That's why I moved the time to 6.
I'm gonna say Aretha is alive.
Okay.
And Jimmy Carter is. I know that he was alive recently. I'm gonna say he's alive too.
Okay. 2 out of 3.
He's dead.
2 out of 3. No, Jimmy Carter's alive.
Oh, and Aretha Franklin.
Aretha Franklin's dead. Jennifer Hudson is actually playing her in the new movie.
That's
for her biopic.
That's why I was like, oh no, she's alive because she was.
That's why I wanted to use her as part of this game because she's kind of resurging as being relevant. Not that her music isn't relevant, but her as a person is becoming more relevant now because of that biopic. Shirley Temple, of course, is dead. Shirley Temple would be in her 90s, I would say, if she were still alive at this point, and that's rare in the U.S., so she's gone. Unfortunately, we loved Miss Shirley Temple. I forgot to say shout out to Betty White, though, because Betty White just celebrated her 99th birthday.
Yeah.
Like, what?
She's a powerhouse.
What? And she's still so witty and so on point, and so, like, what? I'm like, this 99-year-old woman is, like, funnier than 70% of Hollywood. Yeah. I live for Miss Betty White. But yeah, that was fun. I'm really actually surprised at how many you knew. I was like, this is going to be a curveball. It's going to get you so good with this one.
You threw me off.
Yeah, no. Did I? Okay, mission accomplished. Dion said, all my life I had to fight to be in that dungeon, so I guess I'll see you after the show. You will actually see me after the show. I guarantee it.
Is it because Dion's in your house?
It is because Dion's in my house right now. Most people don't realize that Tiwa Taylor is filmed in my apartment. We're here in my apartment, guys. We're just hanging out in my apartment. It's fine. It's totally fine. But most people don't realize that.
This beautiful studio set that you have arranged.
Ladiva Jones, when Ladiva Jones was on here, she exposed me. She was like, "Oh, Taylor's house is so cute. We're in his house," and I'm like, people don't know that, but it's okay. But I want you guys to know. It's right here, my little apartment, my little quaint little space. But yeah, that was Dead or Alive, so we made it through. We're alive, in case you guys are wondering. Complete and Taylor Neptune.
Debatable. Debatable.
Taylor Neptune's alive, but I'm not of this earth, so alive and dead might mean something different to us. Whatever, it's fine. But I want to give you some time before we leave. Of course, we're reaching our hour marker. Give you guys back your Friday evenings, and hopefully, you guys enjoy your Halloween and get going on that this Friday. But I'm going to give you some time to promote anything that you might have coming up, any events, and what you want to leave with our viewers today.
Thank you. So, I host every Thursday at Ego Providence in Providence. 73
I was so mad I missed last night. My daughter got ordained as one of the Ego Babes. Yeah. Congratulations, Niall. I'm so proud of you. I know I've told you this personally, but congratulations, Niall. Chic is now one of your new Ego Babes, so make sure you check out Ego every Thursday. Mm-hmm. It's an amazing show, free of charge, which is amazing.
Free for 21 plus.
For 21 plus. That you guys are amazing. That you guys are able to do that. Also, kudos. So good. I love that.
We try.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm also there on Saturdays, but not like I do it's not really a show. I go dance to songs that I like. So
I love seeing you do that.
Thank you. And I think all the events that I have this weekend are sold out. So if you didn't buy tickets to any of them, then whoops. Next year.
There's that.
And then I post everything that I'm going to weekly on my Facebook. Complete Destruction.
You do.
And once in a while I do try and sneak a flyer onto Instagram, even though they really don't like when I do that.
Really?
Yeah, no, the posts that I put flyers on Instagram get my lowest hits.
So, I'm the opposite. I get a lot of hits on Instagram as opposed to Facebook, which is funny. I don't know, we might have to, with this whole meta thing that's going on, I might have to move to Instagram Live.
Oh no, Facebook, I don't expect anything out of Facebook anymore.
Never.
I put things there and then I leave.
And then I just disappear.
Yeah, I put the photos and the flyers there and then I walk away because I'm like, I'm not fucking with that. Because their algorithm is even worse than Instagram. Yeah. And Instagram's moving towards video stuff now, and it's like, why would you? Literally, the point was photos.
That's the whole point of the. Yeah,
literally,
okay. I'll let you finish.
But yeah, and excuse me, you can follow me on Instagram at Complete Destruction. Can I do my tipping info?
Absolutely.
So on Venmo, I am at Complete-Destruction. On Cash App, I am $CompDestruct. And PayPal is paypal.me/CompDestruct.
You better get that PayPal.
It's coming handy.
It comes, I'm sure.
Yeah, like the one show that I did where they only tipped me on PayPal, I was able to buy a new wig with it.
Okay, so, all right. I'm here for that. Yeah. Listen, I paid my Wi-Fi bill with my Cash App tips, so thank you guys for supporting. I appreciate that. You know, my Wi-Fi bill is only $35, but
I mean,
it comes in handy.
Great.
It comes in handy. You know, every little bit counts to building this whatever that we're trying to do here.
Supporting your community.
Absolutely. Salute. One of our last shots. And thank you for that. I appreciate you being here and, you know, giving us your time because, like I was saying to my good friend Dion, time is the only thing you can't get back. Unless you're a time witch, but you know, hey, let me know if you're dabbling in time.
The amount of time dilation that I've experienced in the past 4 days has been extreme.
After COVID, I've looked at time a lot differently as of lately because I'm like, okay, I realize that it's up to me as the person who's actively living to create those time barriers, and so COVID really emphasized that for me. Like, if I'm bored and if I'm listless and motionless, time is slowing down. If I'm doing something and I'm happy and creative and getting things done, it's like, oh shit, it's 6 o'clock already. You know what I mean? So like, I've taken that into account, and you know, time has definitely been something that I've been breaking barriers on within my own mentality. But moving forward, because again, we're going to give you back your Friday, I promise. And Miss Complete has to get to her performance in Boston, nonetheless, I believe. Kingston, yes. Boston is Sunday. Yes, Boston is Sunday.
Oh, and tomorrow.
I'm going to be there on Sunday.
Yay.
Yes. But yes, you know, before we leave, I want to make sure to tell you guys, even in this Halloween season, get creepy, get spooky, get all that stuff, and make sure you're being good to yourself. Make sure you're looking inward to, you know, make sure that you're learning yourselves and loving yourselves more than any kind of hate or any outside influence, because that's what's going to push you forward through this season and through the next season. And I want to make sure to tell you guys that I love you. If no one's told you that today, I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching and keeping up. It really means the world to me. So much appreciation goes out to all of you, because without you, I wouldn't be doing any of this. So thank you so much. And again, be sure to be good to yourselves. And happy Halloween weekend, y'all. Get out there, be safe, and enjoy yourselves. And thank you so much for watching. And I will see you all next Friday.
Love you, bye.
Later, bye.